Hey, Dom, how
Hey, how
are
you
you?
doing, man?
Good, good. What movie?
What movie are we talking about today?
Yeah, what could it possibly be? Uh,
I already did my short announcement, but for those of you just joining us, today we're talking about Dawn of the Dead, the 2004 remake is
yeah,
Zack Snyder, the
yeah,
remake of the 1978 original by George Romero. So this movie, not because of the content, just because it was remade, is highly controversial.
yeah. There's
If
a lot of controversy around this. Yeah,
if you've never seen either one, believe me, I'm a zombie aficionado, as
yeah,
are you.
me too. Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. Um, the original followed the
safe
not
to say we're zombie nuts.
the,
Uh,
the original Night of the Living Dead. So where we evidently saw the start of a zombie apocalypse. So now the zombie apocalypse has been going on for some time. Society is breaking down. It's not done. There's still military, there's still some base of civilization, but it's pretty much going downhill. So we
yeah,
follow a group of survivors who end up coming together and making it to a mall where they can fortify themselves and at least have a chance, have a rest while there's a zombie craziness going on outside.
yeah. And actually, both the original and the remake both head to the mall. And I think the what I one of the things that I really, I mean, I don't know whether you remember, but I remember going to see this with you and your brother Mike. I remember seeing this at the York Drive in York, Maine. Um, and that's one of the things that I have, not this, but the original George Romero one.
I've seen
And
the original so many times. I
yeah,
don't remember where I've seen them.
yeah. But well, that's the first time I saw it. And I think it had to have been the first time you saw it. But yeah, it's so there's a lot of fond memories of like seeing it at a drive-in too, which was cool as hell. But somehow it's extra creepy when you watch a zombie movie. You're sitting in a car and you're looking around like you're expecting them to start tapping on the windows like they are behind you. um,
Exactly.
yeah, but
Yeah,
you know,
I gotta say, I don't know how we could do a video, but something needs to be done to celebrate drive-ins. That
yes,
experience is so unique.
yes, yeah, and it's sad that there's so few. There still are ones around, but they're dwindling. They're just the ones that are there seem to be just like holding on.
Mhm.
And man, I would love to see a revival of. I've even had like ideas on like how it could be like revived, but it's so hard because land is worth so much money that it's hard to put
Well,
the
land
acreage.
cars, like you're basically having a parking lot where you can show movies,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah,
is so much less profitable than an
yeah.
actual parking lot.
Maybe a Tesla charging station that has a giant screen, and if you're charging, you can. I don't know. Like I said, it just seems a shame that people don't get to experience that as much as I
Yeah,
did and you did.
for those of you watching at home, if you've never been to a drive-in, I'm not saying it's superior, but it's unique.
Yeah, I feel like I'm superior because I've had the experience. But yes, it is. It's unique. That's a joke about me. But anyway, no. So like I said, I just have a lot of fondness, and I thought it was cool as hell that they landed a helicopter on the roof of a mall, and the mall that well, malls were different back then too,
Oh, malls were
because
definitely different.
yeah, they had so many different store types. Now it's probably more geared towards clothing, hair and nails, uh, Victoria's Secret. It's probably there's the food court, of course, but they're probably more geared to fashion and things like that. You could find everything at a mall years ago. And I mean, yeah, you'll have your, your stereo and your, although those are dwindling at malls, but you could find everything at a mall. So, including at this mall, and I don't think that was or I know that wasn't the case for the actual mall that they filmed in. But in this mall that they landed on in the original, there was a gun store. So,
Well,
which,
there wouldn't be in this new version anyway, because the mall they were at is in
yeah.
Canada.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So, absolutely, there wouldn't be. Yeah. But yeah, well, in the original, of course, there was, and they got to rate it, which is great. And I thought all I could think of at the time was, this is great. I wouldn't leave this place to save my life because,
There are in doing my research for this movie, there are several videos that ask why did they leave the
yeah,
mall?
why? Because I would have just kept. I understand they ended up having zombies get in. The bikers had at one point broke in, and but they got them out of there. The zombies did actually. The bikers became fodder for the. So
And the bikers were in the original. Just to
yes,
just to tell the viewers at home, the
yeah,
movie that we are supposed to be talking about
right.
had bikers.
Yeah, yes, the original. Um, and yeah, I was just kind of like running through the original just because, so I could go back to this one. But yes, um, again, in both movies they flee, but they had a great setup in both. There was a problem um, with the guy across the way in the new one because that poor I felt so bad for the poor sniper.
God, yes.
Yeah, he was a cool dude, and he that was a gun store right across the way in the new one, and he had a sniper rifle, which he was really taking out a lot of zombies with that sniper rifle. As sick as it is, I think if I was in the same situation, I'd probably be doing it myself because um, you have to dwindle the numbers down, and you're
I
between
mean, I would say yes, but like it gets to a point where how do you dwindle the numbers down?
yeah,
Like,
it's
like you're gonna run out of bullets.
yeah, well, yeah, but the other thing was explosive. There were creative ways that they came up with in the remake that I thought were actually pretty damn cool. Um, One of the creative ways was propane tank explosions that they were using, and that was actually both funny and cool. They were blowing the hell out of a large amount of zombies. So yeah, I think you could start thinking of creative ways of getting fire is always a good thing. So
So,
now
so
another thing that was talking about the original. I don't know if you heard this, but the zombies, the actors playing the zombies in the original, were paid $1 a day and a donut, and they got a night of or a Dawn of the Dead T-shirt, and that's what they got paid for a day's work. So,
the new
so
ones, the
what's that?
zombie new ones got 8.90 an hour.
Really? Real
Yeah.
that's in the new one? Yeah. Well, the other thing about the original was the zombie they said that the makeup uh part took so long that they often had to break while they were remaking, other new faces. And so the zombies that had been made up, they would get bored, and there were bars all around the mall, and they were drinking heavily. And they said that contributed to a lot of the hilarity that was in the original. So I don't know about the new one, whether any drinking was going on, but they definitely were drunk in the in the first one. And I guess they actually caused a lot of damage in the mall when some of them got hold of golf carts and drove them into parts of the mall they should not have. So, but yeah, uh,
So I gotta say, bringing it back to that guy in the gun store, the guy
yes,
across the way.
yep, the sniper.
Have you seen the extra that shows his last days?
Um, what do you mean the extra?
So
Um,
in the movie, we saw him across the way. He's
Right.
communicating by signs. He's sniping some of the zombies in the crowd.
Yeah.
Is a movie extra for the new one where he has a video camera and he's recording himself during that whole process.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know about that. No.
Yeah, yeah. So they show him like day one. I'm all set. I'm holed up here. I've got tons of ammo. They're not getting in,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he's okay. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And then slowly it shows him like losing hope, going
Yeah.
hungry.
Yeah. I know he holds up that sign that says, yeah, I'm really hungry. No, 8 days
Yeah,
without
and
food."
so this
And
whole short, it's a 15-minute video. You can find it on YouTube.
huh.
I'll try to put a link to it in our comments, in our
Yeah.
description.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it's not like it doesn't add that much, but it's an interesting addition to his story.
Yeah. 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 Well, he was one of the ones that I really, because there are certain people, in both stories, um, in both versions of this, there are people that you like more and and dislike more. But he was one of the ones that I actually like really liked, and like in the original, that the cop that was running around all wild and crazy, and got himself, turned into a. I mean, that's him after he's he's been bitten, and it was largely his own damn fault when he got bitten because he was acting like a maniac, when they were trying to secure the store, and that's how he got bit. But so you didn't feel too much sympathy for him. But there are definitely people in both. But the sniper was one of the guys that you like. You really felt bad about. They were trying to rescue him, and in there, and he rescued the dog that got away,
Mhm.
and it was because he rescued the dog and tried to help the dog out that they ended up getting bit himself. And he actually held up a sign that was all covered in blood, which
Yeah,
actually let them know, like, okay, he's he's gone zombie now. So they actually knew when they went there. It's like there's trouble now. We can't we can't rescue the guy. But and another person, this guy that's here, the mall security guard, was such a jerk
yeah.
when they first got there. But people can have redemption, and this guy had redemption, and I actually
His story arc was amazing.
it was it was because he went from being a total jerk to somebody that was actually sacrificing his own life to try to help them in the end. And that was that's him there. And he waited behind and let himself go just because he was trying to save others. And like I said, that's a man that in my book, total redemption for the earlier asshole stuff that he
Yeah,
did.
it's funny. So on the rewatch that
Yes.
I did just a few days ago, Lisa, my wife,
Yep.
she watched it with me actually. And as soon as I saw this guy, I said to her, Whenever you see this guy, you know he's the bad guy
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
every role I've seen him in.
Yes.
So his role reversal in this one was amazing.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because I came to like really respect the guy by the end. And I was like, I mean, you started seeing it. All of a sudden, he went from a guy who was only in it for himself, only cared about himself,
Mhm.
trying to be the big mall security dude. And then all of a sudden, he's actually working with everybody and helping them out. And now, this guy, on the other hand, and by the way, do you know this guy is Phil on
Modern
Modern
Family.
Family?
Yeah,
Yes. And
that's Ty Burrell.
yes, yeah. He was great and he was great at playing a real jerk in this one, and he stayed a
Phenomenal.
jerk. Yeah, he stayed a jerk until the very, very end.
Very
Um,
end.
yeah, it's funny because he's kind of a jerk. He's a little bit of a jerk on but he's a lovable jerk. Kind of a lech. his wife is always, like cringing at him, like really. He's, he leers at his what is she? His not his sister-in-law, or his.
You can tell me, but I've never seen Modern Family.
Oh, you haven't? Wow. Okay. Well, you
No,
owe it
no,
to
I
yourself.
only know it because I know pop culture.
Yeah. Yeah. But well, at any rate, like I said, he definitely does not find redemption. Instead, he actually almost gets everybody killed, and luckily he turns into a zombie himself. And the blonde chick that's really cool in this, that's right at the start of the movie, she
Sarah
puts him.
Polly.
Yes, Sarah Polly, and she she actually puts him down, and it's actually a very satisfying moment. And by the way, just as a public service message, when if you ever get into a zombie apocalypse, people out there, that kids may look lovable, but when they look like that, don't trust them and don't hug them because they will bite you. And yeah, that's my one public service message there.
Oh my God, this girl was amazing.
Yes.
So again, I watch a lot of things. I do a lot of research. So in
Yeah.
preparing for this, I not only watched Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead,
Yeah.
I also rewatched the original and watched the making of Zack Snyder's The Dawn of the
Nice.
Dead.
Nice.
This
Nice.
girl through makeup was a champ.
Wow.
Like for someone this young to be
Yeah.
doing it, she was all in.
Huh. Huh. Well, I'll tell you what, she was all in when she was in this scene because like rewatching this one, I had actually forgotten like the scene when she when she shows up in the bed, I was like, holy shit, get this kid away from me. I mean, she was creepy. And of course she really did some damage there too. But yeah, that now another thing is, I guess I would have to say another public service message, if I was going to put it out there. No matter how much you love your wife, folks, if she's been bitten, even if she's pregnant, don't try to have the kid, because that was another mistake in this one. He tried to tie her down so that she could have the child, and that didn't go well at all. so, and zombie babies are as scary as zombie kids or just adults. But yes,
Except they've got no teeth.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But I still just the idea. That's actually a very good point. But they still are very scary. I mean, any small thing like that. If it and now this is the big thing about this movie that was that I kept hearing, and that was zombies do not run, and in this one they do, and it did cause a lot of people, purists, to say you can't have zombies running in a movie. They don't run. And I felt the same way when I before I saw it, and I still have a little bit of, yeah. It's like, yeah, they did kind of deviate,
Oh,
but
okay, let's address the elephant in the room
sure,
because I'm about to commit zombie blasphemy,
right, right. Go ahead.
zombie sacrilege. I consider the remake to be the superior movie.
Um, I have mixed feelings. I like both, and it's hard for me to say that just because I mean I'm such a Romero fan anyway.
The
Um,
original is the classic. It was a
yes,
trailblazer. It was groundbreaking. It was great.
yeah, they're both great zombie movies. They're both great fun, and I even though like I kind of went along with the camp that said zombies don't run, I still came to feel like this is a fun movie and it's a good zombie movie, and it did kind of up it up the the threat level significantly, and it probably changed zombies because now they're not only faster, but some of them actually use tools, and that makes them even creepier.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's been a number of like creative zombie movies. Have you ever seen Fido?
Yes.
Because that one was very humorous, and they had zombies doing all kinds of crazy things in that one. But yes, so like I said, it's for the whole idea. The zombies are, we think, make believe, but but so yeah, you can play with it. And the idea that they zombies don't run, well, they do now. So
Well, I
so
mean,
once
they're a fiction device. They do whatever
yeah,
works for the story.
yeah, yep. And you have to say, you can, you can stand there and be a purist all day long. And I when it comes to film, I tend to like, if there's, especially with remakes, there's been a lot of remakes that I've thought, they shouldn't have done that. That's blasphemy. It's, they should, but no, it's a zombie movie. Get over it. Okay, so they run,
You say get over it, but Zack Schneider and crew got death threats
Yeah, that's crazy.
for
Yeah,
making this. Like, don't send me death threats, please.
yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
making a YouTube video.
yeah, yeah.
But
Because
people are serious
well,
about this.
well, actually, I'd be kind of amused if somebody sent me a death threat over it. But
I've actually gotten death threats before for art I've done. So
wow, really? Wow.
yeah.
That's crazy. And you do great art, so why anyone would do that, they're they have to be nuts. But yeah. No, I like I said, it's zombie movies are pure fun. So if you're gonna get that excited about a zombie movie, you have to actually threaten somebody. You're kind of going off the deep end a little, people.
You need
So
more in your life.
yeah, you really. But yeah, in fact, you probably, looking at the background behind me, you probably need a little more head. But and there they are. Those are all the probably exploding and heads that they did for shots of like close-ups and things like that. But um, hey, I would love to work on a zombie set. Oh, that was great with the bus when they were blowing up with the propane tanks. Um, yeah, absolutely.
So,
Uh,
so here's the thing, again, the original is awesome. No
yep,
argument. It's great. And it was one of the first of its kind. So
yep,
it was groundbreaking. It's hard to judge against anything else. It's hard to make comparisons because there were no comparisons when it first came out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it was so long and it leaned heavily into social commentary.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And so, and that was like, okay, I get it. That's commentary. As an artist, you're making a statement. It was boring sometimes.
what's that?
It was boring sometimes.
Are you talking about the very original
I'm
Dawn of
talking about the very
Night of
original,
Living
the,
Night of
the
Living Dead?
very
Or
original. It was boring at times. They had these weird, silly music segments that were like, okay, I get it.
yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah,
trying to make a commentary. This remake was so action oriented. Like
yeah.
it started right away and it did not let up.
Right, right. Yeah, I'd like, hey, I think with Romero, he's always trying to do a little social commentary.
Yep.
And I mean, he did it in the very first, the Night of Living Dead.
Yep.
He used a black actor for the hero of that movie. He was the only one that kept his head and was trying to like get them organized so they could survive. And then of course he gets shot in the end with the bullet through the head with some guy shooting for. Oh, there's one, and the poor guy survived the whole damn thing. And when what looked like a rescue party coming at the end, uh, his salvation was actually a bunch of good old boys with rifles that just said, "Oh, there's a zombie," and shot him. But yeah, so Romero always kind of like added a little bit of that in. Um, yeah, this one do think is more geared towards pure fun and action. And so in that sense too, yeah, I fully agree. For a pure fun movie, this one actually, it's hard to top. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And when
Mm-hmm.
there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. But
And that is another thing I respected about the remake is they gave so many nods to the original.
Yes, yeah,
If you're at all familiar with the original had Tom Savini, not
yeah,
just as a special effects guy, but also as the leader of the biker gang.
yeah, yeah. And when he was very good as the, as a biker, he actually reminded me a little bit of Sonny, whatever, I can't think of his last name now, the Hell's Angels leader. He actually reminded me a little bit of him in that in the when he was portraying the biker. He was very realistic and just a lot of fun. So,
But he played a sheriff in the remake.
oh, okay, okay,
The um the black guy in the original, the black cop
yes,
in the original, Ken Foree,
okay, yep, yep.
also plays the televangelist we see at the start.
Okay, that's who that was. Okay, because I actually thought that guy there was something familiar about him,
Yep.
and yeah, I didn't realize that's who it was, but yeah,
And the
um,
other cop, the white guy, Scott, I'm not going to get his name right.
right,
Uh, Reininger.
yeah, yeah. It's hard to pronounce. I'm not sure what the
He plays
pronunciation.
he plays a military general in the remake. We see him very
Okay,
briefly,
yeah, yeah.
but
Well,
they
and yeah, it's funny because there were a couple of things like that. I had heard that they had brought some of the original. There's also there's one the woman who played um, the lead female in the original. She wasn't in it to my knowledge, but there's a scene, and I actually, if I can actually pull it up, there's a scene where they're showing a store and it's her name is on the store. And
yep,
so yeah, that was their little nod to her. But her the actress's name is on the store. But yeah, like I said, they did some fun little things like that. And another thing in the park, I believe it's in the parking lot of the mall, you see a helicopter that is down on the ground and it looks exactly like the helicopter that they landed on the roof in the
yep,
original. So
WGON.
yes, yeah.
Yep,
So,
they got the same thing. They even like the trucks in the original
yeah.
were B&P. It was actually
Okay.
the original was filmed at a mall in Pennsylvania,
Okay.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
they hired trucks from a local place that was BNP. I
Yeah.
can't remember what the BNP stands for, but in the remake, they got trucks that were BP.
Okay.
And people that I listened to analyzing it said that when they made that, high def was not available.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah. That stands to reason.
it would have been very hard to see the and sign. And so they did BP because that's all they could see.
Okay. Wow. That's cool. Wow. That's very cool.
But they really tried their best to give nods to the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah. Like this is the picture I was actually looking for, but you can see Galen Brothers or whatever that is, Galen Roth, the
Mhm.
store. And then, to my side there, you can see the helicopter. So yeah, and they're the ones you were talking about, the televangelist, and so there's always going to be a televangelist telling you, well, the reason why this is happening is because you're all sinners. So, but
You
but
can't
yeah,
waste apocalypse.
yeah, yeah. So, but I mean, hey, you got to do a little sinning in life. It's no fun otherwise. Uh, but yeah, like I said, this is definitely a fun one, and I loved how they rigged up the vehicles to escape. The saddest part is again they had a nice, secure, safe place. Granted, the guy across the way didn't end so good for him, but they were in a pretty good position and they still had a lot of food. Um, I think I would have held out longer if you're in a if you're in a secure place. Um, just because somebody tells you, "Oh, I got a boat," you might want to do a little bit of exploration before you decide to go heading out in a boat. And that was the other thing was when you get to an island, um, and you don't know anything that's going on that island, maybe don't all rush out of the boat, because if you look at the boat, and of course everything's all blown to hell and back by now, with one guy left, but that boat had a sail on it, and they could have they didn't have to have gas on that boat. They could have taken that boat and gotten away from there and found another island, because somewhere there would have been an island that didn't have a load of zombies on it. So yeah, it's sad that they got away and they did all that fighting, and then of course, but that's what happens in zombie movies. So
Also, for those of you listening at home, if you have not seen this remake and you're going to, do not end the movie at the credits, because the post-credits
oh yeah,
tell like a much more complete story. Again, I was watching it with Lisa, and
yeah,
the movie ends, the credits starts rolling. I'm like,
yeah,
no, 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 no.
yeah.
Pay
Stay with
attention.
Yeah, stay with it. Yeah, there's so much actually in those credits. It's like, holy crap. Yeah,
Mhm.
if you just like cut it out, you don't know half of what's going on.
I know.
There,
Oh,
there's a ton of stuff. Yeah. No, this movie is, it's near and dear to my heart. I mean, like I said, it's I think when I first heard it was coming out, I was like, ah, come on, it's, the Romero already did a great movie, and why remake it? Well, some things I don't think need to be remade. This was a fun remake, and they did a good job with it. It's a worthy addition to the whole zombie, class, and I have to say I love it. Now, one thing I will say too, this movie was recommended to me, uh, to so that's one of the reasons why I picked it. Buddy of mine, Justin, he asked it, why don't you guys do Dawn of the Dead? And I said, which one? And he told me this one. So so
I
that's
gotta admit, I'm very happy he chose this one,
yeah,
because you know the original is worthy. It's a classic,
yeah.
but this one, man, this one, I think it really does respect the original.
Absolutely, it does, and I don't know, any purist that got offended by any of the stuff. Come on, lighten up. I mean, look at all the fun zombie movies that have been made, which we have to do a lot more. Um, I mean,
It's hard not doing more zombie
yeah,
movies. Me,
yeah,
as we're doing this, I have in my mind like, oh, we got to
yeah.
do this, we got to do this.
Well, it was hard doing this one. I mean, we as soon as I told you, hey, Justin suggested this one, it was like, okay, well, there's no way we can do just this one. We have to talk about the Romero one. And of course, that leads you into other zombie movies, but there's so much more and so many fun ones, including all the British ones with, that they're just, they're a barrel of laughs with Shaun of the Dead. Those are just all great movies and
Oh,
fun. And they,
believe me, I can't wait to get into the Australian ones with Worm
yeah, yes, yeah. So yeah, let's do
and the
more.
Korean ones.
Yeah, yeah. So and again, people, this was a suggestion. Um, so anyone that has a suggestion for a movie that you want us to do, we will do it. So I mean, I did my friend Erica's. She suggested Pool Hall Junkies, and we've thrown out a number of movies that that people have suggested, and they're on the table. So keep them coming. We're happy to do anybody's suggestion. So, but yeah, and
This is definitely the first of many zombie movies.
yeah,
Be-
oh,
Did,
absolutely.
did
It's
I tell you I was
yeah.
interviewed about zombie movies?
What's that?
I was interviewed about zombies.
Oh, you were interviewed?
Yeah, so I'm a Craigslist addict. Love Craig.
Okay, yeah,
It's a very interesting snapshot of society.
right,
But I'm cruising through, and this is like, I don't know, 15 years ago.
yeah,
Someone said, I want to interview people about zombies. And I'm like, I am someone you can talk to.
yeah. I'm your man.
And so this guy was doing his his master's thesis
Oh,
on
really?
and
Wow.
zombies as a phenomenon in America, in society.
Yeah.
And so we talked about how zombies were, again, as per Romero, sort of an allegory of the consumerism of the masses.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
it was interesting. It is enough of a phenomenon that I'm willing to bet there are like college classes taught about zombies
yeah. Yeah.
in culture, in society.
Yeah. Believe me, I mean, all you hear nowadays are or talk about zombie apocalypse, and kind of going along with the idea that society is breaking down, which there's a lot of there's a lot of argument for, you could say it is. Um, but I mean, I've even like going to the range, because I will go to the range sometimes and shoot, and there I've actually bought zombie personal protection rounds, which I thought was hysterical because they've got a green tip on them, and yeah, and behind me, this is from the original, but
Yep.
no zombie movie would be complete without having a Hare Krishna, and so yeah, that one made me laugh. He was walking around the mall a lot in the original zombie movie. So yeah, they did a lot of funny little things that were very much pop culture at the time. So and that was definitely one of them. So it definitely made me laugh. But yeah,
While we're
and of
talking
course
about,
that
we've been
what's that?
covering Zack Schneider,
Yeah.
his remake, but I should point out this was mainly written by James Gunn.
Oh, the script for the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was.
I
I
am a
mean,
James Gunn fan. Love
yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy. Love Peacemaker.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy. I definitely. I Peacemaker. I'm trying to think if I've seen that, but Guardians
You
of the
have,
Galaxy, I
because
definitely enjoy.
I shared it with you, and you said you watched it all in one night.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
John
That's
Cena.
right. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now I know you. Yes. um, by the way, this is the cast of the original,
Hmm.
and all sitting behind me. And this is after he's been bitten, and things are starting to go to hell. But and again, another thing that was with this one was the blonde chick there that she actually has to fly them out of there, and luckily her husband was the only pilot, and luckily she got him to teach her how to fly, because yeah, he ends up getting bitten also. And I think in yeah, the ending was just her and the cop right behind my head.
Yep.
Um, those are the only two that made it out of there that we know of, because you do see the helicopter crashed in the parking lot. So if that's just a continuation of what happened from the original, and some people did say that the remake takes place like minutes after the the first one ended. So the first Dawn ended. So who knows whether that's the case or not.
I'm getting mixed like information about how George Romero felt about the remake.
Yeah,
Half the
I've
I've
never
looked
read
at,
anything on that. Yeah.
half the sources I've looked at said he didn't like it,
Huh.
and another half said whether he liked it or not, he said he was very impressed by it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say what, I mean, some artists are really, they're really open to somebody else exploring what they've done previously. I mean, if nothing else, it's a great tribute to the fact that he made a wonderful movie first, and that somebody else would want to remake it. And I don't know. Again, we both expressed our thoughts on it, but I have to say, I mean, yes, I'm a purist. I love the original, but this was fun, and they didn't. They certainly didn't spit on the original. They certainly didn't do
No,
anything that
they
was.
definitely honored it, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
absolutely. Even by even by putting the different people in the movie that were in the original. I mean, you look at the cast behind me, and pretty much every one of them were, where I'm not sure. Did the pilot, the helicopter pilot, show up or?
Not that I recall,
Yeah, but and of course I don't think she showed up. I don't know. I assume she's still
but
alive.
they put her name in.
Her name in, yeah, which was a nice tribute. And
Mm,
yeah, so and the other two were both in there. So they did their best, I think, to include people from the
I gotta
originals.
say, like part of my research was watching the making of Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead,
Yeah,
which is, let me look at the runtime, which is as long as the movie itself.
right, right,
And
right.
just hearing the amount of work that they put into this, they were really passionate about this project.
Wow, yeah, yeah. Well, and that alone right there, like I said, uh I think they did everything to make a respectful, fun remake, and that's all I care about. It was in the end. If I didn't go to see this in the theater. I saw this on home video. I'm sure
Yeah,
for the
same here.
first time. Yeah, but I in fact I remember I think I actually bought it was a Blu-ray copy. I think that's when I first saw it, and yeah, like I said, I didn't know what to expect. I'd heard the whole thing about zombies don't run, and I was a little apprehensive. And I found myself watching and saying, "Damn good movie." So I mean, I'm going to give it to a movie. If you do it right, I'm going to give it the full respect, and I fully do in this.
Oh,
You know,
totally.
so, uh, and I'll tell you what, if if actually were playing the part of one of these zombies, that would be fun as hell to actually say, oh yeah, I'm that guy running in the sweater in such and such
We
a
talk
place.
about purists,
Yeah.
but during the making of that I watched,
Yes.
there were a lot of people that basically were like, um, I'm a purist. I don't think this remake should be made.
Huh.
But if I've got the opportunity to be a zombie, I'm going to be a zombie.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're like,
Now there.
I
There's.
love this movie, but oh my God, can I be a part of it?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So I mean, hey, all I can say is people lighten up. I mean, again, You know, I I love my films, and I love when something's done and done really well. I a pure classic. Um, it's a movie. There's certain movies that I probably would say this thing about, but like a movie like Psycho, and I know there's been like sequels to it. I guess there might have been a remake, but
There was a remake. I haven't seen it, but
but to me, they're like Psycho. First of all, it's Hitchcock, and it's like really hard to mess with Hitchcock's works. He was so good, and that movie to me stands alone. Nobody's going to do what Hitchcock or Anthony Perkins did in that original movie. So as far as I'm concerned, that's one to leave alone. There's certain movies that it's like don't mess with it. Come on, leave it alone. That's that's a classic. So I could say that there's certain movies I could pull up like that. Um, a zombie movie, come on, it's fun. If somebody's going to make a worthy try at it, then I say give them a fighting chance. And this one is a fun movie. So
also like we're speaking of it as a remake, but it is really its own thing. Other than
yeah,
zombies in the mall,
yeah, yeah.
there's not that much similarity.
No, no, none of the character. It wasn't like they copied the characters. There's there's hardly anything you could say that was that similar about you did have your strong female lead and Sarah Polly. She starts at the movie and she pretty much finishes out to the end. Pretty much, they kind of get overwhelmed at the end. uh, but um, but yeah, again, like I said, totally different cast. It's just like I said, it's a fun movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend both. And in fact, I think you should see both. But Dom probably prefers the sequel. Or the remake. I think I'm kind of mixed, but I could probably almost go either way. I love
So,
Romero.
so for those listening to us, if you want to judge for yourself, Dawn of the Dead, the original, is available on YouTube.
Yeah,
There's at least two YouTube sites that will show the whole movie for free.
yeah, yeah.
Want to see it. If you're interested in the remake, the 2004 Dawn of the Dead, it is on Netflix, as far as I know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, from what I hear, Army of the Dead is the spiritual sequel to this remake, also
Wow.
on Netflix.
Okay. Okay. Huh. Yeah, Army of the Dead, I don't think I've seen. But
It's
I
not
have.
bad. It's like it's a bank heist
Okay.
in a zombie infested Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. That sounds like fun right there. Las Vegas is a place that the zombies would be really interesting to see because there's such a strange crowd of at any given time walking around Vegas. But
There's
yeah,
a
so
zombie tiger.
wow, wow.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah,
talk about diverging from traditional zombie movies.
yeah.
They do it. It's very fun. I'm not saying it's a great movie, but it's entertaining.
Now that's something that I haven't seen a lot of um, playing around with, but zombie animals. There have been a couple of zombie movies that I've seen that had animals that could become infected, but most of the time it's just humans.
Yep.
It would become a lot more dangerous if you had one that also started having like more animals becoming zombified.
To show how zombie obsessed I am,
Yeah.
if you want to see zombie animals, there's a movie called Zombies,
Okay.
OO,
Huh.
BIES.
Okay.
That
Yep.
is all undead animals.
Nice.
There's also Black Sheep,
Okay.
which is what's the guy's name? I'm not going to remember it now, but
Yeah.
definitely an older movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're zombies, but they're killer sheep.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's always fun.
And then there's if you want children zombies,
Yeah.
there's
Children,
little monsters.
the children zombies terrify me.
Oh my God, it's freaky.
Yeah. Anytime I see a kid as a zombie, first of all, children that are killers are like, if you want to scare me, like put kids, I don't care whether it's like Village of the Damned or whatever. It's
Pet Cemetery.
yeah. When you start seeing a little kid that it's like, oh my God, like this is because you just don't expect it from from a little kid that they're going to be deadly. And when
Mhm.
they are, it's like, oh my God. So yeah, that chills me. I have to say, if you wanna make me squirm, bring out the killer kid, and that's gonna be like, oh no, time to leave. Uh,
But I think we've said all we can about this movie, and I'm
yeah,
going to stop it here because we are going to be doing a lot more zombies.
yeah, definitely, definitely. And right now, somebody needs a hug. But yeah, that was like I said, this was a fun talk to me, and I know for you it was definitely going to be a fun watch or rewatch for you. So
Oh my
yeah,
God, you don't need to twist my arm to
yeah,
watch or talk
yeah,
about this.
yeah. Bring on the zombies. That's what I say. But so Dom, next week is going to be
My
your
pick.
pick. So we're all going to be waiting with
I'll be
bated breath.
announcing my next short in hopefully 3 or 4 days.
Okay, cool. Well, I look forward to it because I don't know what it is yet myself. So yeah, I'm waiting in anticipation. So Dom, great talk with you. Great time. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And please like and subscribe. We try to always get that in there. And
Or at
please,
least just watch.
yeah, just watch. And you know what? The other thing is, if you got any suggestions, put them in the comments. We definitely will. We'll do pretty
Bring
much
them on.
any. Yeah, bring them on. We're brave. We'll do it. So Dom, I will see you on the next one. And great time, and I enjoyed it. So
Always. Yeah, definitely. See you
yep.
next week. I
Take
look
care,
forward.
buddy. So long.